Sp- Spicy chicken gang, everybody. We're back with another video. Today we're going to talk about the Washington Commanders schedule release because recently, just the other day, the Washington Commanders have officially released the schedule. I found out through the website because they released it on the channel. So we're going to get talking about the schedule and breakdowns and reaction to it. And I'm looking forward to it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Share with others. We have one view in here. Shout out to the viewer. And let's get right through it. You know, this past season, Washington Commanders went on a great into the NFC Championship. No one expected that, myself included. So they're back. Let's see if they can follow it up again. Because last year they won 12-5. Last year, their games were easy. They still had some challenging game, but I think this schedule is much harder and tougher. So this is more of a year where the Redskins prove themselves because now they actually have legit competition. I believe they added some talent. They stocked up in the offseason, made some trades, got the draft picks they needed. So now let's see how they go about it this year. So, week one, Sunday, September 7th versus the New York Giants. This is a 1 o'clock game. I think, like the beginning of the season, they played against the Giants. They did win. And it's crazy because that's a divisional game. So anything goes with divisional games. Anything could happen. Last year, no team, I believe. I think I think from what I remember, I think the Commanders scored no touchdowns. They won by all field goals. That should be different this year with the playmakers they got and everything. And let's see how JD Jedi 5 JD Daniels, shout out to him. Let's see how he does. He has a second year under his belt. He had a phenomenal rookie year. Now he has a second year under his belt. I think teams are going to be able to catch up with his game and be able to pick him out. But knowing Jaden Daniels, watching him, like he's just on another level with his mind. His mind is just like for his age is very uncommon to see. So I believe that he should have a good season, but we'll see. So we open up against the New York Giants 1 o'clock p.m. Hopefully this year I can make it to one of the games. I had the privilege to go to the Panthers game last year when Jaden Daniels injured his rib, got out, but it's okay because Marcus Mariota came, handled it 2 touchdowns, and the defense and offense were just clicking on all cylinders. Actually, supposed to go to that Bears game, the Hail Mary, Maryland miracle they call it. As somebody I know couldn't make it, he got injured, so we ended up going to the Panthers game. But it's alright. Still was a good time. Still was a good experience, you know. But that next week, when I saw the Bears, I'm like, ah man, they do that Hail Mary pass. They got the Hail Mary and all that. It would have been so remarkable, amazing just to be there because I never watched a game ending off on Hail Mary. I just seen it on TV. But week one, September 7th against the New York Giants. And what I like about this schedule is it just doesn't, test us and the adversity of this team and what they can do. We have way more primetime games this year. And I think that's because we just had a great run, unexpected run, that now we're being covered more. I think us making to the NFC Championship gave us that. We have 8-15 games. We have 425 games. We have 8-15 games. We're even traveling to Spain, 8-15. And we even have a game in December on Netflix, a divisional game. So Sunday, September 7th, New York Giants, that's home. No, 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 my fault. That's not home. Yeah, that's home. We play the Giants at home. That should be a win, but who knows? Anything could happen. I'm looking at the schedule right now. I'm watching it Commanders Wire through usatoday.com. And honestly, this game, this schedule, this year, this season, it can go either way for us. So I'm just anticipating to see how we do. September 7th, we play the New York Giants, 1 o'clock p.m. on Fox, opening up the season against a divisional rival, someone that we're very familiar with. And week two, Thursday, September 11th, we play against the Green Bay Packers and Lambeau. That's going to be a hard game. I wouldn't be surprised if that game we end up losing just because it's hard to win in Lambeau. Packers are a very talented team, but we'll see. That's on the Amazon Prime, 8:15 prime time. Then we come back home. We play against the Raiders, September 21st on a Sunday, 1 o'clock. Then we play the Falcons, who we beat this past year to actually, I believe, get in the playoffs. So that's going to be a familiar matchup. You know, Atlanta's going to be fired up and motivated. So, and then we go out. That game is in Atlanta. Then October 5th, Sunday, week five, we go out and travel to LA. And this is going to test us too because we didn't travel that much. We were actually one of the fewest teams in the NFL to travel. We're going with miles. Now we're traveling. We're even going to different countries. So we'll definitely see how this plays out and pans out for the team. So I look forward to seeing this. October 5th, Sunday, against the LA Chargers. Chargers are a playoff team. A lot of these teams I'm looking at right now, they're playoff teams, playoff caliber teams. Play at Fortune Revive on Fox. That's a primetime game. And this right here, a rematch. This is low key a rivalry, honestly. It's starting to become one. The Chicago Bears against the Washington Commanders. Commanders. Shout out to that one viewer. Hello, one viewer. Um, it's on ABC, ESPN, 8:15. That's a prime time. And the last time we played on the prime time, you already know what happened against the Bears. We got that Maryland Miracle win. So we'll definitely see what happens. You know, I think this is going to be, again, a tight matchup like it was the last time we played. Both teams are good. Bears, I'm sure they will be having a good defense again, and the Commanders are known for offense. So I believe this is going to be a competitive game. Don't be surprised it's close, but I believe Washington should have the edge here a little bit because they're just not at home. But momentum on our side because a win is a win. But hey, any given Sunday, we'll see what happens. Then we have our first matchup against the Dallas Cowboys. So in the span of 1 month, we see two division rivals in the span of 2 months, the Giants and the Cowboys. October 19th in Dallas, in Jerry's World, at 4:25 p.m. on Fox. Then we got to go to the Chiefs' Kingdom, Kansas City Chiefs, 8:15 on a Monday. That's going to be a good matchup. I remember one time a few years ago, I went to the Redskins at the time. Redskins, I still call them Redskins, always will be my heart. Redskins, born, raised a Redskin. That's what I just grew up on. It is what it is. I went to the game and the Chiefs ended up winning. I remember specifically when Tyreek Hill was on that team. It was a close game, and then as soon as the third quarter began, the second half, Chiefs just took it over. You know, but this is a different Commandos team than it was then. So this should be an anticipated matchup. But it's going to be this is inexperience versus experience because Chiefs are an experienced team. Redskins, Commandos, they're not an experienced team. We're going with the team. The team hasn't been there for too long. We're going with the chemistry. You know, the Chiefs have. So this is a game that can go either back and forth. I would love for the Redskins, Commanders to get the win at Kansas City, but it's not going to be an easy task. So you have that week 8, Monday, October 27th, Kansas City Chiefs, 8:15 on ABC, ESPN. Then we come back home to play Seattle. This game, a little secure with mostly because it's at home. Seahawks, we don't know how they're gonna be like. Not a bad team, but we don't know how they're gonna be like. With they do have Sam Donald, so they lost DK Metcalf. They lost Tyler Lockett. So this game I'm most secure, but anything could happen. These teams are going to be an interesting competitive matchup. The one I look for the most, besides the Bale game, is the Chargers because you know I want to see how we do against the AFC. We gonna see the AFC teams a lot this year, a good amount of times actually. So we need this momentum. We need this momentum. You want to start off strong and being being beating two AFC teams that we see to the beginning of the season will definitely carry out the momentum because we play the Raiders at home and we play the Chargers in Los Angeles, and Chargers are extremely talented. The defense, they're known for defense and they can run the ball. So that's going to be a good matchup coaching wise between Dan Quinn and Jim Harbaugh and Andy Reid and Dan Quinn. I want to see what Cliff Kingsbury has up on the sleeve, offensive coordinator. I want to see what Joe Wood Jr., the defense coordinator, has up on his sleeve. So we'll see. And this right here, this is a rematch of the I believe second round, the semis, NFC semis, divisional. Yeah, divisional. You have Sunday, November 9th, Detroit Lions at home, 425. I'm extremely confident about that because what the Commanders did to the Lions. But, you know, it's the off season now. Everybody's getting ready for the season. The trades are over, off season, free agency is done. So, but this is the game that Commanders should win. But I wouldn't be surprised if anything happens. But I believe I'm confident, and I don't care if I'm wrong. I can admit that. I think the Commanders will pull out a win against the Lions. I believe so. Momentum, momentum, momentum. Yes, the Lions are a really good team, but they're not the same team as they were. And the Commanders got better. They got better. So I mean, they still yes, you still have Dan Campbell. I'm never counting them out. You have J.L. Gall. You have Amon St. Brown. You have David Montgomery, Jameer Gibbs. You still have those guys, but they lost one of the best defenders in Carlton Davis, who's actually one of the best slots in the NFL. So we'll see how that plays out, but this is going to be a good matchup. And then Sunday, November 16th, 9:30 a.m. USA time. We go to Madrid, Spain. And the last time we traveled to another country was in England, London, England, when we played the Bengals, Cincinnati Bengals, and that ended the tie. So this game right here should be interesting. I believe the Commanders should get this win, but then again, we'll see what happens because that's in the middle of the season. What's up? What's up, Gregory Hilton? We just have to see what happens. This is a thanks for joining. This is a game that it can go both ways, especially since it's basically a neutral. It's a neutral game. The game is not played neither in Miami or in Maryland. It's played out of the country. So this game right here is gonna be. I'm anticipating for this. What's gonna happen? And we haven't even hit the bye yet, but I believe this is already a tough schedule because it gets tougher after the bye. But during the midseason, this is a tough schedule. I believe honestly, you know, if I honestly looking at the schedule, I believe we have one of the top five, top 10 toughest schedule. You know, I looked online earlier. Every opponent's added up to the 2024 record has a win percentage of 0.55, 0.56%. So they're over 500. So this is not an easy schedule, because we haven't even hit the buy, and this is already scheduled. This is like the mid season, early season, and this is already a tough schedule as it is. You got to see the Chargers. You got to see the Bears. You got to see the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Seahawks, the Lions, the Dolphins, whom all of them are playoff teams. All of them. And you got the bye. And you got the Broncos. Sunday, November 30th versus the Denver Broncos. Yes, Jane Daniels. Yes, I'm looking forward to see how Jane Daniels play. He had a phenomenal first year. This is a primetime game, 8:15 NBC, and this is going to be a tough game. Even though it's at home, it's going to be a tough game because this team is a phenomenal defense. Denver can get after you, and Sean Payne is a guru of a coach. So this schedule is more harder than last year. So, but I like it though because we want to see now if the Commanders will continue the success. What's good, Dave? What's good, Dave? Thanks for joining, Dave. Shout out to you, brother. Dave Jeremiah. Shout out to y'all, man. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and share with others. But we just gotta see what happens because I saw last year's schedule. I saw this year's schedule. This is a very hard schedule. You got the Falcons, you got the Chargers, you got the Bears, you got the Cowboys, you got the Chiefs, you got the Seahawks, you got the Lions, the Dolphins, so far on the Broncos. And not to mention, December 7th, we play in Minnesota against the Vikings at 1 o'clock. And then you go in New York against the Giants. Even though odds will be favored against the Commanders against the Giants, still, honestly, to be honest, it's a divisional game. Playing in MetLife Stadium is not easy. Playing away from home is not easy, especially with a divisional team. And then you have a rematch of the NFC Championship. We play in Maryland against the Eagles, December 20th on Fox. There's no announcement for that time, and they probably did that on reason because probably if I have to guess, like theoretically, I think it's going to be a tight race between the Eagles and the Commanders, so they probably didn't announce this. And Week 17 is the holidays. You have Thursday, December 25th against the Dallas Cowboys in Maryland, 1 o'clock on Netflix. That's you know. So we have a lot of primetime games. Considering where we were last year, we have multiple now many primetime games. We didn't get a lot of primetime games, but since we had that successful big run in the 2024 campaign, now you're getting these primetime games, and we close out the season January 4th in Philly. That's not to to be announced yet because most likely those are going to be a flex game, especially if the race is so close to one another between the Eagles and the Commanders that I wouldn't be surprised if that's a flex game. You know, most of these games are pretty much primetime games. Honestly, we have a Netflix game. I can't remember when we played on in the holidays, but we have that. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if probably one game gets flexed this year for us, but at the same time, we're probably not going to need it because you're looking at these times mostly 4:25, 8:15, 1 o'clock. So we have some prime time games already. So I see no reason for them to flex a game for us, and we play in in Madrid, Spain, 9:30. So we're pretty much spoiled. The NFL has spoiled us this year. That's how I look at it. But at the same time, it's good though because I believe expectations are high for us now. For me as a supporter, I expect to win 10 plus games. Honestly, you know, the key is can we go back to the NFC Championships or to the Super Bowl? We'll see if everyone stays healthy, if the offensive lines holds up, and if Jay Daniels continues to do his thing, and most importantly, if the defense stays healthy, and if we actually get better as a unit, then I believe this team can go as far as they can. But at the end of the day, it really starts with Jay Daniels because he is the one who is the key piece for us. He takes us far. Whatever he does is how far we go. And and hopefully this defense does perform well because it was a lot of ups and downs with defense. And hopefully we address the pass rush because we don't have a pass rusher. But at the end of the day, I trust the ownership. I trust the players, and I'm looking forward for this year. So let me know, y'all. Like, let me know, y'all. What's your record? What you think we're gonna record? I'm just gonna give a record right now. This is not me calling it this and that, but I'm just making predictions of how many games we'll win, how many games we'll lose. So Giant is a win. I think the Packers is a loss. The Raiders is a win. The Falcons is a win. Chargers is a loss. Bears is a win. Cowboys is a win. Chiefs is a loss. Seahawks is a win. Detroit is a win. I think we lose in Spain. If we win in Spain, I probably have us losing the Lions game. Just I could see it. The Broncos. I think we can beat the Broncos. The Vikings. Well, it's going to be J.J. McCarthy versus Jane Daniels. So you have a quarterback who's never started in the NFL who's going to start now, and you have someone under that belt and experience. So I believe by experience we should win, but I will not be surprised if we lose. I think we beat the Giants in New York. We beat the Eagles. We lose to the Cowboys, and we lose to the Eagles in Philly. I think we split this year with the Cowboys and Eagles, and we sweep the Giants. Let me know. Let me know, guys. Let me know what's your thoughts. But for me, I think we win over 10 games. And the playoffs, you have your wild card games June 12th, no, June 10th to June 12th. You have your divisional playoff games June 17th to June 18th, and you have your conference championship game Sunday, June 25, Super Bowl, and St. Clair's Sunday, February 8th, So we'll see, you know? Nah, I said we will probably, probably split the season series with them. Split the season series. You can check out more of my live video to hear the rest. But we'll split the season series with the Cowboys, the Eagles, and we'll sweep the Giants. But looking at this schedule, we have one of the hardest schedules in the league. And it's great, though. I love it because we went from knockoffs, nobody watches, to now playing the best teams, getting primetime games. It works out so well. And you have your preseason. You open up against the Patriots, you open up against the Cincinnati Bengals, and you have the Baltimore Ravens. I'm looking forward to this. My game that I'm trying to really aim for is a game probably against the Giants out in New York or hit Chicago, wherever. Like, I don't mind going to New York to watch my team in MetLife. I don't mind that, I don't. Ideally for me, realistically, I can go to a Chicago game or I can hit a New York game because Commanders and Bears play in um Maryland this year on the 13th. But we'll see. But I'll probably want to go out to the New York to watch the Giants and the Commandos. It'll be fun. I never been to MetLife Stadium, and I got a good boy, I got a good bro out here in New York, man. So we'll see how things pop. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Let me know y'all records for this. Like me, I don't have a specific record, but I believe we'll win more than 10 games. I don't be surprised if we're back in the NFC Championship. If not, I don't care. I think if we just have a win-win year like we did, I'm fine with that. Because honestly, I can't look at the horizon with the Super Bowl right now. We're just not there yet. We're not there yet. We will be. We're not there yet. So, like I said, September 7th, we open up against the Giants. September 11th, the Packers and Lambeau. That's a loss for us. We play Las Vegas and in Maryland. We should win that. We play against the Falcons in Atlanta. We play the Chargers in LA. That could be a win. That could be a loss. If we lose the defense and playing out on the West Coast is not easy. We play Chicago and Maryland. That's a rivalry game. I think we continue that momentum. It's going to be a very tight game the way it was. We go into Dallas. We lose against Dallas in Dallas. We go to Kansas City Chief. I'll say we lose that game, but hey, I wouldn't be surprised if we won. We come back to Seattle. We win. We played Lions in Maryland. I think we win that game. We go to Spain and we lose against Miami. We win against the Broncos at home. We lose against the Vikings in Minnesota. We win against the Giants. That's when we sweep them. And we're going with the Eagles. We beat them in Maryland. We beat the Cowboys in Maryland. We lose in Philly. That's how you close out the season. And Week 16 is not announced yet. What time? It's just on Fox. Week 18 is not announced yet because it all depends on the flex games and where we are record-wise, scheduled-wise. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. Yeah, our division's going to be competitive. But for me, I think the teams you really have to worry about right now, this is just me, I need to see more consistency from Dallas, is the Eagles. That's what we got. That's what I think the Commanders look worried about right now. We're worried about the Cowboys, but we mostly got our eyes set on the Philly and just trying to take care of our business in the division. Because if you take care of your business, then we should be able to take the number one spot and win the division. Because this past year we were very close to winning the division. I'm just glad we got in the playoffs. You know, backup scenario, you want to get in the playoffs. If you can't win your division, get in the playoffs. If we don't win a division, you want to get in the playoffs. I think that's the thing. I think that's what the Commanders are focused. Just get in, because we'll take it from there. Because we've shown, even though it's 1 year, that we can win in crunch time, and that's what we did. So it's a hard schedule, and man, I've seen the Giants' schedule. They got a brutal schedule. The NFC East has a brutal schedule, you know? And I'm looking at these powerhouses. Over 90% of these teams are actually playoff teams. Chargers, Falcons, Chiefs, Lions, Seahawks, Dolphins, Vikings, Eagles, Cowboys, Bears. Wild card or playoff. We have a lot of playoff or potential wild card teams. So I'm excited about this match. I'm excited about the schedule, and I'm glad the schedule is out. And man, how to the Commandos, how to the Redskins. I'm excited, man, for real. I'm excited. I'm amped up. I want to see what Jane Daniels is going to do his second year. It all depends on him. If he can facilitate the way he did last year, we have a good chance. And I believe he is in the right position. He has the coaches, he has the owner, and he has a better offensive line. You need a line. And you know what? I tell people this before, and I say it again. We had the worst roster of the Commanders, but we did. Our roster is not even like the greatest potential yet. And for us to make it to the NFC Championship with that type of roster, man, who knows what we can do with this roster? We have better receivers now. We have better offensive linemen. We don't have an edge rusher, but we have linebackers, and that's fine. I think nowadays the NFL is positionless anyways. A lot of linebackers can play edge, a lot of them. So we just got to see what happens. But my projection for this team is over 10 wins. And we're getting the playoffs, and we'll see what happens there. But um, I'm looking forward to another Hail Mary game again. I love that. I remember when I watched that Bears game, I was jumping. Man, I remember someone called me, and I said, hold on, I got to watch this. Jane Daniels is through a Hail Mary. And then I called the person back. The person knows, and I jumped. That show was lit. It's crazy because I was supposed to go to that game. I was supposed to go to that game. That show was lit. I'm like, hey, I'm with my bro right now. I'm gonna call you right back. we both started jumping. It's just so good. Everything in. Oh my gosh. But hey, I think we're gonna be alright this year. When it comes to sweeping, the best chance to sweep is the Giants. But we're definitely gonna split the series with the Cowboys and Eagles. But y'all write in the comments your projection and what games the Commanders will win and lose. And hell to the Commanders, man. You know, if the Commanders are gonna want to get in the playoffs, they need to win the most important games, the primetime games. These primetime games is what counts. If you want to start off strong, win your game against the AFC. AFC is stacked. If you can win your game against the AFCs as much as you can, you have a good chance in the playoffs because these AFC teams are stacked. You know, are stacked. And I think the reason why I see the Commanders being the Eagles because they took a hard they got destroyed 55-23. I think they're not going to allow that anymore, and you're going to see another Commanders team play way beyond their potential. I think this year is going to be a different team than what we've seen, but anything could happen any given Sunday. But like I said, we split the Giant. No, my fault. We split the Eagles and Cowboys. We sweep the Giants because last year we swept the Giants, and when we played the Cowboys and Eagles, we split them. So ideally, that should happen again. But who knows? Well, man, let's get our lick back. Hopefully, man. But yo, comment on how many wins, games, losses Commanders will win, and we gotta see what happens. Do Commanders? No, they don't play the Browns this year. Nope, we don't play the Steelers during the season. We don't play the Ravens. We don't play the Browns. This year, this is during the season. We don't play that. We only play the Ravens during preseason and Bengals, but we don't see the Steelers, the Browns, the Ravens, the Patriots in the regular season. Uh, hey, tell the NFL that. I think the NFL would do something like that because now you see Caleb Williams, Jane Daniels is on prime time. You know, you got something up your sleeve right there, my uncomplicated life. If Shador makes the team and he's the starter, I can see that in the near future. Jaden versus Shador, prime time game or just a 1 o'clock game. I think that would be great for the viewers. And since NFL is big on viewship, I think they would do something like that. But we don't play the Browns this year. I wouldn't be surprised if we probably play them next year or the year after that because we did play against the Ravens and the Bengals and Steelers. So it's only time to play the Browns. But I think that NFL, if I'm not mistaken, does like rotational, like it rotates around. It goes not just by scheduling or record, but rotates. Like we have a lot of the AFC teams. We had a lot of the AFC West teams. You got your Chargers, you got the Raiders, you got the Chiefs. So right now, I think we're on the cycle of playing the AFC West, but you know that could be a future matchup. Jaden versus Shador. I mean, you're starting to see it against Caleb and Jaden. That's man, a good bro of mine said that's a rivalry. I can see it. It's starting to become a rivalry. Number one versus two. And right now, number two has the edge over one. This will be the second meeting in a 2 year career playing against each other. Right now, Jane Daniels is undefeated against Caleb Williams. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, they play Shador Sanders. That would be cool. Shador versus Jaden. That would be very cool. You know, no, it it wouldn't be entertaining. You crazy for that, man? Nah, you crazy for that. I think the football team would smoke that baseball teams. I mean, I'm pretty sure some of the baseball players played football because A lot of athletes are multi-sport athletes, but it would be a huge disadvantage for the baseball players. It would. It really would. You know. Now those football players that go to play baseball, but I don't think I've seen not much baseball play football players. But we'll see what happens. But it would be a disadvantage for the baseball team to play against the NFL team. It just would. You know. Yes, Kobe's yeah, but not everyone's a Kobe. Not everyone. And like I said, a lot of athletes are multi-talented and multi-sport athletes. It's just if you put a MLB baseball team against a football team, the football team's gonna win. Just like if you put a football team against an MLB team and MLB, the baseball team's gonna win. It's just a disadvantage. So yeah. But anyways, man, like, share, and subscribe. Y'all let me know regarding what the schedule is about and the breakdowns, and give you comments, share, subscribe, like, share with others, and give me your projection for this year for the Commanders. Hell to the Commanders, hell to the Redskins. This is definitely a good way to start the process as they get ready to go back to DC, and not just to DC, but have the draft in 2017. So I love y'all, man. Like, share, and subscribe. More videos coming soon. Thank you guys for the interaction. It's your guys, y'all. Out to the Redskins. Y'all take it easy.